Now, being a sympathetic person, I do see that the government has had an unprecedented challenge in the last few months, and it would be a challenge for any government, let alone a new team in place. But it hasn't helped that the government has had a team that, and a Prime Minister, of course, that is arrogant and boastful, persistently making comments and claims and statements that bore absolutely no relation to the truth. And it must be hard for a Conservative government to spend so much public money so fast, albeit that a considerable amount was misspent. So I do understand that they're trying to get back to normal, but I would argue that restarting evictions and allowing more people, families, to be pushed out onto the streets is not the answer to getting back to normal. Everyone has a right to a home. It's plain cruel that during a pandemic and a massive economic downturn, people being forced out of their homes, the short extensions to the ban have done nothing to alleviate fears of renters up and down the country. We are now once again on the precipice of a homelessness crisis, which will not only bring misery to many, but will also hinder any effort to tackle COVID-19. We have to do whatever it takes to protect people during this pandemic, and that, I think, does mean a permanent ban on evictions for the duration of this crisis. And of course, as with most crises, it's the poor and the vulnerable who suffer most. And it's within the government's power to ensure nobody is left without the basic human right of a roof over their head. So the Green Party and I have urged the government to extend the ban on banning of evictions. I'd like to answer the noble Lord Taylor, for whom I have a huge amount of respect normally, and that is that he suggested we were going to break with convention. But in fact, when we have a government that breaks the law, what price conventions?